If you will please take your seats, the show will begin in 5 minutes. give me a VOG again? If you will please take your seats, the show is about to begin. Welcome to the 2023 UT Tyler Convocation. Please welcome to the stage Faculty Senate President Dr. Amantaru Walrab.
Greetings and good morning. On behalf of the Faculty Senate and its leadership, it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to this new year at UT Tyler. Before we chart this course, I would like to express my gratitude to our immediate past president of Faculty Senate, Harrison Deton. Dr. Deton's leadership over the past year has focused on listening to and learning from the wide-ranging concerns of faculty from our recently merged institutions. Moreover, he has shown us that the faculty, staff, students, and administrators of UT Tyler truly do make up one institution and that we rise together as one. Now, as a social scientist who appreciates history, it is my hope that the coming year builds upon the past while allowing us to seize opportunities for productive change. We have seen, for example, throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, as members of our community have collaborated to ensure that in these unsettled times, we met these urgent issues with mature responses that kept us all safe, or at least as safe as possible. Now, in the same spirit of shared governance, faculty input influenced the creation of the new strategic plan, which, in the words of Dr. Calhoun, recognizes that every significant accomplishment we reach is realized through collaborating both internally and externally and innovating together. Now, in the context of Faculty Senate, this means listening to each other, holding ourselves accountable, and looking for all the possibilities, even when we occasionally may disagree. Now, we have built this institution of Faculty Senate through persistence, patience, and open-mindedness. The recognition of this hard work comes in a variety of ways. When our Senate representatives, for example, meet with peers from other UT system schools, we are often praised for our implementation of shared governance. Shared governance requires not just faculty input, but also buy-in by our administration. So when faculty shared their concerns about the end of course evaluations during the pandemic, right, the administration granted leeway for things like tenure and promotion. Similar grace was given when it was shown that faculty research agendas had to be put on hold during lockdown. And when it was shown that faculty compensation was below Coupa median, the administration committed to addressing this problem. Now, I believe that a spirit of shared governance is the key to our institution's continued growth and success. This means active engagement by faculty in raising issues and finding constructive solutions. Higher education, as we all know, is going through many changes at present, and I believe it is important for faculty to recognize and realize their potential to help sculpt those changes. I also want to put a plug in here that Faculty Senate meets in a town hall style format every third Thursday from 12:30 to 1, and that you are all invited and strongly encouraged to attend. The first one will be in September. So thank you very much, and please warmly welcome Staff Senate President Bruce Bettinger.
Well, thank you, Dr. Walrab. Welcome, everybody. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of our faculty, staff, researchers, administrators, clinicians, and medical personnel. My name is Bruce Bettinger, and I am excited to serve as the 2023-2024 Staff Senate President. Of course, I can't mention my presidency without first acknowledging the contributions of those that came before me. Without the leadership of our outgoing president, Christina Chapman, my task would seem almost insurmountable. Christina, you've been an amazing mentor to me and an admirable leader. You have shown our staff what it takes to lead during times of transition and modeled the behavior of embracing change. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your mentorship and for your continued support of the mission and vision of our excellent university. In the ever-evolving landscape of academia, change is the constant that propels us forward. It challenges us to adapt, to innovate, and to strive for greater heights. Embracing change is not easy. It requires us to step out of our comfort zones and welcome new perspectives. Yet, it is through change that we discover our true potential. It is through change that we evolve, learn, and grow. As we stand on the cusp of a new era, I urge each one of you to seize the opportunities that change presents. Let us see change not as a daunting force, but as a canvas upon which we paint our aspirations and dreams. Embrace it with open arms, for it is in those moments of transformation that we have the chance to redefine what is possible. Let us carry forward the torch of innovation, curiosity, and dedication that defines the University of Texas at Tyler's spirit. In closing, let today mark the beginning of a collective journey, a journey that embraces the uncharted territories of change and envisions a future where the University of Texas at Tyler continues to shine as a beacon of knowledge, inspiration, and progress. Together, we will champion the values that make us strong. And together, we will shape a brighter tomorrow. With that, allow me to introduce our next speaker, a person who I'm most excited to work with throughout this coming year, the 2023-2024 Student Government Association President, Ms. Chloe Dix.
Thank you, Bruce. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chloe Dix, and on behalf of student government and the student body, I am honored to be standing in front of you all today. I have recently graduated from UT Tyler, but have returned for a 5th year as a student government president and an English student getting my master's degree. I began my time at UT Tyler as a student athlete on the women's tennis team. Being able to compete at the collegiate level was something I had always hoped to do, and playing here was the best experience I could have asked for. I wanted to give back to UT Tyler for all it has done for me, and found student government was an excellent way to do so, or at least try. This summer, as I have entered into my presidency, I have had the opportunity to meet and speak with many of you. I have thoroughly appreciated everyone for taking the time to educate and guide me, and I look forward to our future meetings. Many of you have expressed interest in speaking at General Assembly. Speaker's Podium is a part of our weekly meetings where we have a guest speaker. Now, in student government, we are proud to have our voice, and to be able to provide a voice for faculty, staff, and administration directly to the student body is something we have the privilege of being a part of. If you are interested in speaking at General Assembly for any reason, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. We would love to have you. Student government, along with the university itself, has changed over the years, but student government would not be what it is today without our advisor, Josh Neves. I speak for everyone in student government when I say that we are thankful to be the voice for the university we have become. And Josh has helped us every step of the way. We definitely do not thank him enough. UT Tyler creates leaders and impacts everyone to take an active role in their lives and pursue greatness. Greatness comes in all shapes and sizes, but from what I've learned here at UT Tyler, simply doing your best and giving it your all will often take you places you never anticipated. We encourage our senators to take active roles with their constituents by meeting with their deans and communicating with students to be able to help to the best of our ability. With our fall election fast approaching, we are looking to grow the Senate and harbor the dedication and commitment that UT Tyler represents with these young leaders. And now, please help me welcome a leader I look up to immensely, UT Tyler President, Dr. Kirk Calhoun.
Thank you, Chloe. Well, wonderful. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And welcome to what the Chronicle of Higher Education describes as one of the fastest growing universities in the United States, UT Tyler. And if we have any special guests here or visitors, I'd like to acknowledge their presence and express our appreciation. I happen to know that we have one very special guest, my spouse, Dr. Jeanette Dees Calhoun. Stand up and wave, Jeanette. Jeanette has her PhD, and I keep trying to encourage her to engage with our College of Education and Psychology. But the governor has asked her to serve on the Psychology Licensing Board, and she's very involved with the charitable agency in town here that feeds people and provides housing and that sort of thing. She spends a lot of time with our students. Maybe we can get her to do some faculty time one day, but I guess I'll have to wait behind Governor Abbott before I get a chance to do that. I want to thank Dr. Walrab, Bruce, and Chloe for those wonderful greetings. We look forward to working with you this academic year. I want to recognize and thank our leadership. And would our cabinet and deans please stand? We appreciate you. Let's take a moment to remember those we lost this past year. Those who were once part of our campus community and contributed to our growth and success. And I would also like to ask you to keep in mind our fellow citizens in Maui who are going through a very difficult time right now. So let's take about 10 seconds and think of them. Thank you. As we begin a new academic year, the wind is in our sails. We transitioned the honors program into the Honors College, which, yes, which creates another level of prestige for the program and our university. The research you are conducting continues to elevate our reputation. You are doing life-changing research, helping NASA predict crop performance in spaceflight conditions, discovering ways to reduce carbon dioxide emissions in the environment, addressing the mental health needs of students in our public schools, providing school districts with child and adolescent behavioral health telemedicine services, and addressing new treatments for lung disease. UT Tyler's reputation is growing. U.S. News and World Report rated both our College of Engineering and our School of Nursing among the best. Our athletics program, yes, yeah, let's applaud that. Our athletics program is making a big name for itself, not only in the Lone Star Conference, but in the NCAA Division II as well. And our School of Medicine enrolled its first class last month. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this past academic year. I don't know how I feel about seeing myself in those videos. Not something natural for me. In June of 1963, President John F. Kennedy spoke in Germany. In his speech, he explained that while the United States and Germany acknowledged their independence, that each must also respect how imperative it is to embrace partnership. While recognizing the differences, which he called distinct but complementary, he outlined what could be accomplished by working together. For time and the world do not stand still, he said. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. I see similarities in what we have experienced at UT Tyler. We took two institutions with distinct differences and cultures that complemented each other and unified them with a discerning eye towards the future. Together, our impact is strengthened. In the turbulent landscape of higher education, our ability to adapt to change is not just a survival skill, it's a prerequisite for success. What are some of the challenges for UT Tyler? First is increasing competition in student recruitment and retention as the college-age population in the United States declines. Second is reducing the cost of higher education and managing costs in healthcare. We need reasonable cost control while making substantial investment in our workforce, our people, equipment, and facilities. Third, technology is revolutionizing the way we teach, learn, treat patients, and do research. Virtual classrooms, artificial intelligence, digital resources, robotics, and transformation will drive us away from our comfort zones. Fourth, traditional degrees may no longer be the ultimate path to a meaningful career. Therefore, adjusting our offerings and curricula to prepare students for a new reality is appropriate. Fifth is the growing demand for lifelong learning. Education is no longer about simply earning a degree. It's about continuous discovery, adaptation, and collaboration. Finally, UT Tyler is working to be relevant to the entire community, to offer more opportunity and be welcoming to students and stakeholders. Let me address enrollment. Our current enrollment is about 10,000, and we anticipate growing to 15,000 over the next 5 years. We'll do that in a variety of ways. We continue to experience substantial increases in our freshman class each year. We must improve retention and graduation rates. We are enhancing our advising and retention efforts and providing value-added student services, enriched academic, social, and recreational support. Our graduate school, our now rapidly growing graduate school, is adding innovative programs meeting the desires of post-baccalaureate students and employers across our region. We are expanding online offerings. We cannot ignore the convenience such courses provide those with time and distance limitations. Thanks to Chairman Kevin Eltife and the UT System Board of Regents, we are making higher education more affordable through our Patriot Promise Scholarship Program, and this is important, we are keeping UT Tyler in-state tuition unchanged this coming year. Through many avenues, we are publicizing UT Tyler, take a look at this TV commercial that was produced entirely by our wonderful UT Tyler creative team.
College is a time of discovery, and we don't just mean learning opportunities. UT Tyler is the perfect place to explore your passions, challenge yourself, and find your path. With endless opportunities to learn, grow, connect, and innovate, you will discover a community that will help you discover you. So don't hold back. Take that first step towards your path to success. Embrace the incredible adventure that awaits and discover your future at UT Tyler.
Our academic deans have been crucial in leading our colleges and schools through change. Let's take a moment to hear their perspective on change.
Change isn't something to be adverse to. In fact, it's the only thing that's constant in this world, as you know that life is always going to be changing. And so for me, I always try to be proactive and think about what the next endeavors are going to be, how we can continually refresh and renew. And so you have to embrace all of the changes that are going to occur.
Change is scary for everyone, but embracing it starts with a positive attitude. And then it is what you make of it. Enjoy building the relationships that come about with that change and move forward with purpose.
I embrace change by viewing it as an opportunity. I don't see change as a challenge as much as a chance to be bold. Don't be afraid of trying something new, but then very key to that is to communicate. Both listen and then communicate back.
The best way to manage change is to jump in and work together to create the best outcomes from that change, right? To give everyone a voice in what's going to happen with that change and to give everyone the power to shape where they're going with their careers, with the programs, and with the school. And so if you have buy-in from the entire team, I think the change is acceptable and even exciting.
Get the people on board first. Explain to people why a certain change is important, why it is needed, and what might be the positive impacts of that particular change. And get people's buy-in into it, helping them understand. And once people understand what the change is all about, then it's very easy for people to get on board with it, to pursue it, and to then succeed in leading that change.
I tend to be a servant leader, and so if I identify change as important, if we have identified certain values, goals, mission as important to us as a college, then I kind of have to walk the walk, right?
Be flexible and open-minded. And you know, we're always going to have things that change that we don't really like. But what we need to do is make sure that we can form that change to be the best change possible, and make sure, especially in academia, that it's the best change for the students.
Our goal is to train students for the future, so we always have to constantly think about the future. So change is good. I think explaining every day and making sure people understand that there is value in change and that it's not okay to just stay the way you are today, that we have to look toward what the future brings and to be ahead of the game.
You know, regardless of what the size of our institution is and what it will become, you still at moments interact one-on-one. And so you can control what you can control, which is your environment, your interactions, and your relationships. And if we all make the best and are the most positive with the people that we are interacting with, I think then all together we move forward in a positive way.
Oftentimes, change can be challenging in ways that seems to be difficult. You tend to forget the accomplishments. So taking time to reflect on the successes and celebrate those accomplishments of your team, of your students, of your staff, and those will remind you that all this change is for good reason.
Is change a rocky road? Sometimes, because you have to think about what comes next and how do you get there. And that's okay, because you're not alone. We're all doing this together. Every time I see you lift a student up and walk with them along this journey that is important in their life, I'm just very proud, and there's nothing more important to me in this job. So thank you for all you do.
Now I would like to invite Executive Vice President Dwayne Morris to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Calhoun. It's been a very inspirational presentation, and you know, each and every one of you play a vital role in all the successes that we've seen in the past, and looking towards the future, all the successes that will come. And you know, it's been a challenging environment the last few years with COVID and all the things going on with that, and we've still made all this progress that we can look in the videos and see. So it's very inspiring. We've also made progress on one of our strategic commitments, and that's to invest in our faculty and staff. So I'm going to read this to make sure I get it right. We will award merit increases to qualified faculty and staff effective September 1st. And merit increases will be included in the October 2nd paychecks. So. Additionally, we've concluded our faculty compensation analysis using the Coupa median by discipline, and we've gone through that process, and that's complete. The deans will be meeting with faculty to share this information, and the adjustments for those, just to make sure I've got this right, will be effective October 1st, and will be included in the November paychecks. So thank you for your commitment and your contribution to our mission, and look forward to seeing you all around campus. Thank you.
As we begin this term, my main objective is to remind everyone that change is not a bad thing. Because of change, we accomplish some things, while despite change, we accomplish others. The secret to change management is to focus all our energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. We are building this great university together. Remember, rise as one. Thank all of you very much. Now I would like to invite to the stage the executive leadership of the university. I'd like to invite Dr. Amir Memoran, Dr. Julie Philly, and Mr. Dwayne Morris to join me on stage for a conversation about our priorities. We've done some surveys and have garnered some questions for everyone. And this has been a very interesting year because we embraced change and we felt that we could redo our budgeting process to actually make it more relevant. One of the things that had sort of evolved here as well as at other universities is sometimes the budget did not result in the reality. And we wanted to go back to reality so that the leadership here would know exactly what resources they had and how they could utilize them. That's easy to say. It was hard to do. But the team's done a great job. We didn't get the budgets out as quickly as we wanted this year. We're pretty upset about that. Dwayne will talk about that in a moment. But we did get it done, and because of the work that's done this year, we'll be a lot better next year at that process. But Dwayne, do you want to just tell us about the FY24 budget and the budget process?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Be happy to. So, as Dr. Calhoun indicated, we're in a process change as far as the budget goes, and looking at how we plan for the future. And we weren't quite as effective from a time perspective this round. We will improve that, obviously, moving forward. But we have made significant improvement in the detail and the amount of information that you'll receive in your budget, so that you'll have a plan to go by for the next fiscal year. So I think while timing was off, and that was we're not happy about that. In the coming years, we'll improve on that, and we'll also improve on the detail and the level of information that you're going to receive. I think the main thing that we look at is, as we go through the budget process next year and thinking about it, because it never really stops. The planning never really stops. We're always working together. Is really thinking about the allocation of our resources to those strategic goals and making sure that we're putting resources to where we need them to go to be able to continue to achieve all of the wonderful things that we saw presented this morning as we move forward. So we won't, while we finish the budget, formally, and it stops, and we'll be rolling that out to many of you in the next week or so. The communication, the discussion, that's something that will go on throughout the rest of the whole fiscal year, the whole academic year. And because it's a plan, right? And the plans will change, and we'll have to evolve with the changing environments. So I think that's one of the things that we need to think about as well, is making sure that we're communicating well as we move through the next year.
One of the things that Dwayne taught me, I would have thought I would have understood it better after these years in higher education. But what he really emphasized is that budget is truly your plan, and you need to think about it as a plan, not just an exercise in putting numbers down on paper, but how you are plotting and planning your future, your next steps, your priorities, how you deal with them. So, Dwayne, thanks for teaching me that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's the main thing, is recognizing that, a lot of people just look at the budget as a set of numbers, but it truly has to reflect what you plan to do in that next year, and how you're going to use the resources that are allocated to you to achieve your goals. So we'll keep working on the budget process as we move forward, and I just appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all about it today.
A few eyebrows may have gone up when I mentioned, and this is for Dr. Memorand, when I mentioned that we're planning for enrollment to grow to 15,000 students. That may be a change that could be a little bit frightening. Can you elaborate on how we want to accomplish that?
Absolutely. The strategic priority of growing to 15,000 is basically to provide us with the economy of scale and the budgetary margin that would help us build a better and a stronger university. Now, our strategies for growth are twofold: the recruitment side and the retention side. On the recruitment side, we are utilizing a number of initiatives, from streamlining the admission process to Patriot Admit, 4+1, college readiness, which has grown significantly. We are enhancing our online and micro-credentialing portfolio and course offering. We're also looking at expanding our partnerships with the community colleges with the help of Patriot Promises Scholarship. And in addition to that, this past year we have had both renewal and new initiatives working with 3 nationally known vendors to help us assess and market our graduate programs, and particularly recruit students for our online nursing and our online MBA program. Now, just so that we know that this is not a pie in the sky, it is aspirational, at the same time it is achievable, I would just point to 3 facts. One, if you look at the number of students that are currently enrolled in this semester and any of the prior 2 semesters, we already have more than 15,000 if we keep them. So we can do it. Number 2, as President mentioned, Chronicle of Higher Education has ranked UT Tyler for the 3rd year in a row as one of the top 10 fastest growing public doctoral university. So we can do it. And number 3, shout out to our enrollment management team. This year, we are going to have about 3,000 new students, which is record for us because we have about 1,300, as of today, over 1,300 freshmen. We have about 1,000 transfers and 600 to 700 new graduate students. So again, that's more than 2,200 that we graduated last year. So it means that we can do it as long as we retain them. And we have a number of retention strategies as well.
Including more and better advising and such things. How can each member of the campus community help support our retention efforts?
That's so critical to realize that just like recruiting, it is not something that a particular unit needs to do it. We need to look at retention as a collective effort. It takes the entire village for us to be successful. So we need to look at it from the student perspective. But first, I would like to make sure that everybody knows that, again, if you look at the coordinating board, higher education coordinating board, UT Tyler has ranked for 4-year graduation in the top 5, the 5th highest graduation rate in the state of Texas. So as long as we count graduation of those students who started with us and finish elsewhere as well. So what it means is that the students that we're recruiting, these are good students. We just need to make sure that we retain them. How do we do that? 3 things. Number 1, we want to make sure that we develop belongingness in them and affinity in them from day 1, from welcome letters from the dean to the freshman and transfer new seminars that we have to the advising and mentorship that we do. We also need to look at the academic side. So anything that we could do, again, from course offerings and expanded office hours of our faculty, early alerts, the removing barriers for gateway courses and providing support mechanisms such as the supplemental instruction and tutoring. All of those things are going to help on the academic side. And of course, on the financial side, from scholarships to payment plans and housing and creating learning communities within housing, all of these are going to help. So we need to work together, and hopefully we'll be able to retain the students.
Good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
Something you spend a lot of your time talking about these days, the medical school. What can you tell me about the first medical school class? Tell all of us about the first medical school class.
Thanks, Dr. Calhoun, and good morning, everyone. I see Dean Willis sitting down here and so many of our medical school colleagues, but 40 students enrolled, started in July, out at the North Campus, out at the Health Science Center for the first 2 years until our new building is built. These students were chosen from thousands, literally thousands of applications. And you say, how do you get 40 students out of thousands? It's a process, and it takes a team of people that are dedicated to trying to get it right. There's a complicated algorithm that goes into this, but we're looking at students that are not just smart, that are not just good people. We're looking for people that care about the state of Texas and specifically about East Texas and care about you and your families and all of the things that are important to us. So we've already started the next cycle again. Admissions, very busy. We're interviewing again. We'll interview 200 to 300 candidates again for the next 40 slots that will be fully tuition paid for next year. And so excited to just launch this dream come true, I know, especially for you, Dr. Calhoun.
Yeah, well, thank you. This is a good opportunity for you to explain a little bit more about what health affairs is, because it's probably 2/3 of this university in terms of the activities and investment and so forth. And can you tell us about the School of Nursing and the medical school buildings?
Oh, sure. So first of all, health affairs encompasses 4 areas: School of Medicine, our Fish College of Pharmacy, our School of Nursing, and our School of Health Professions. And it was so much fun to see the new deans on the screen this morning, Dean Teresa Bird and Dean Amy Schwartz, who've joined our teams to lead College of Pharmacy and School of Health Professions. The new buildings, the medical school building, drive down Beckham in the hospital district, look for the Sky Bridge, and immediately south, you're gonna see some cranes in the air. That's gonna be our new medical education building, 250,000 square feet. It will almost look like 2 towers. The first that will be facing Beckham will be 4 stories. That will be where the medical students train, medical education building. It will house things like an auditorium, classroom spaces, anatomy labs, all of the things you think of in a medical school. On the other side is clinical space to take care of patients. And there's some important programs that we're going to put in these areas, especially to train the next generation of healthcare professionals, medical students included. But those service lines will be things like a special emphasis on women's health, special emphasis on lung disease. That's a part of our legacy at this organization. Things like orthopedics, 8 state-of-the-art operating rooms fully equipped to train surgeons and other healthcare things in the operating room, and a specialized imaging center. So you will be invited just in a couple of years to walk into this lobby, which will be grand and beautiful, look to the right and see medical students, and look to the left, seeing people whose lives are impacted by this dream come true. School of Nursing. On this campus, when you walk out the door, look to the right. Again, you may see some cranes in the air. You certainly see the fences and the difficulty in parking. But School of Nursing building set to be finished hopefully by the end of next year, 2024. Going to be a huge addition. I say huge, nothing's big enough for the School of Nursing. You know how big we are, 3rd largest in the state of Texas, multiple programs, just some of the best faculty in the UT system for nursing. But this will house a state-of-the-art simulation center, some new classroom space, a shelled out 2nd floor planned for growth, and just lots of opportunity in the School of Nursing. Again, some growing pains, so you're going to see, a bit of displacement on campus.
Can you just say a little bit about the new nursing programs that'll be started at UT Tyler?
Yes, and I'm going to leave some things out. There's so much happening in health affairs that we're excited about, but some special things. For the first time in our history, the legislature gave our School of Nursing $7 million, and that money is directly going towards developing critical care pathways for nursing. So we're busy working to launch a CRNA program, which is a certified respiratory, a certified register, I always think pulmonary, I'm sorry. Registered nurse anesthetist. These are the trained medical professionals that can put you to sleep for an operation. There's only one other to date public school in Texas that has this. There'll be more coming online in the future. Most are private. So this is a huge win for nursing. Also looking at acute care nurse practitioner programs, and interestingly enough, flight nursing. There are very few programs in the country besides the military that have flight simulators and really train people how to be on a chopper and take care of trauma patients, especially in a place like East Texas. We're not sure exactly how this is all going to look, but we're going to be planning it for the future, and it's going to be great. Other things that we're interested in nursing, I could talk about things all day long, but we're going all in for clinical informatics. We're looking at ways to look at big data. Dr. McBride has joined the Nursing School for Research, and she's just doing a wonderful job getting some things set up. So the future is going to be heavy into big data, big science, lots of exciting things in nursing.
And I just want to mention, we're not building a big building for 40 medical students. That the classes will obviously grow, but for those of you who are not familiar with medical education, we have a couple of hundred now students, graduate medical students. On TV, it's, what was that TV show where you saw the residents and all that stuff, running around the hospital. That was
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, which was very unrealistic, by the way. For those of us who did it.
We don't do any of that.
that wasn't the life. But graduate medical education, that's where people become internists, surgeons, anesthesiologists, emergency room doctors, all of that. That's a huge, that postgraduate medical school experience is a huge experience, and that's a big part of the use of these resources in the medical center also.
You make a great point. There's over 180 residents right now in training, again, doing that work after medical school, surgery, internal medicine, psychiatry, with lots of plans for growth. But to reemphasize, this building is our building, it's your building, it's the community's building. This will be used for generations to come by all of us. You're all welcome to come tour, to participate, to see at any time. We would love to show it off. We'd love to include you, your friends, your family, especially your students across all service lines.
Dwayne, I know we're going to have some meaningful material, as you like to say. To me, this is material. Some material increases in compensation this time around. Will there be any additional pay increases in the future?
Systematically, I think that the Coupa and the merit increases, those are the things that we can look at right now. Those are the major opportunities for pay increases and improvement in pay. I think that that's brought us up to a pretty good level at this point. Obviously, as we move forward in the future, there will be pay increases. We'll look at, to make sure that we're equitable across the organization always. We'll be looking at market forces to make sure that we stay competitive, and we'll be looking at in particular areas where we're seeing, competitive pressures to make sure that we retain the best faculty and the best staff possible, within our budget constraints. So there will be, obviously, over time, additional pay increases, but systemically, I think the two that, with the merit increase this time and the Coupa adjustment, those are the two that we'll see the largest impact across the board.
And what will be the source of the funding for future pay increases and other development at UT Tyler?
I think that goes back to what we were discussing earlier, actually, Dr. Memoran, what he said. The primary revenue stream for our university is our students. It's taking care of, educating students. So, through tuition and also through the state appropriations, which we receive a per student compensation from the state to help offset the costs and to help lower the cost of education for our students. So we don't have a lot of flexibility on our tuition or on our state appropriation amount. We can't go raise those prices just as some other schools, particularly private schools, can. So our primary revenue stream and our ability to grow over time is going to be through the growth in our students. And it's just a happy, I wouldn't say coincidence, it's a happy instance where financially we succeed and we grow at the same time as our mission grows and our ability to take care of, our students, providing them a quality education, in improving our East Texas environment overall. We benefit financially at the same time, so it's good that they work together that way.
Very quickly, can you just say a little bit about the IT consolidation?
Absolutely.
ECE and what a great job he's doing for us.
I'd be happy to. So you brought up ECE Ramirez. ECE, I don't know if he's here, but he joined as the CIO for our organization. It's been, 6 months or so, and he's introduced a lot of changes already, and we look forward to continuing to work with ECE and as we bring the IT environment together between the two campuses. Obviously, they're significantly different. There are opportunities for standardization and for consistency across that's going to improve performance. It'll also improve security. Obviously, there's always going to have to be some differentiation too, because there are differences between the campuses. But I would say that the personnel, bringing the organizations together, the staff, that's pretty well done. He's done a great job on that. We've done the cross training. We looked for opportunities to to strengthen each other through the respective staffs coming together and working together. And then you have process change and you have technology change. Those things will happen over time. I'd say the process change would be the next furthest along. We still have a lot of processes to review. We still have a lot of things to do, but we now have something that we introduced shortly after ECE got here, and that's a governance committee. So we now have a multidisciplinary governance committee that includes members from the faculty senate, the staff senate, and also the student senate that participate in this governance around our IT. That's really important because ultimately they have the final say on major initiatives and those kind of things. We all have to move along together, and everybody has to be on board. So the big stuff gets to them, and then there's about 4 other specific committees that reside underneath that governance committee, working on particular things like applications or network infrastructure and those kinds of things. So, and those have multidisciplinary committees. A lot of the technical and IT folks, but we have people from various walks that also participate in those groups, and to make sure that we're getting input across the institution on how we move forward. So I think those processes we're developing them, and that's pretty new. We've only had probably 3 governance committee meetings so far. Those will continue into the future at least once a month, maybe more often as necessary. I would say looking forward, the next big change is going to be, for us, is going to be PeopleSoft. We talked about that earlier in this calendar year. We put that off in conjunction, in discussions with UT System. We decided to move that out, and we expect that we will begin, we're working on it right now. Potential go live is September 1st, 2025 for that. But we're already working on that transition, and we will continue working on it, preparing for it. Now, there will be a period of time where it's going to be an intense process of work around that particular project, but we can prepare for it as we move forward over the next few months as we get ready to move into that intense project period.
It's sort of IT related, but we're working aggressively on a new UT Tyler website that is a website worthy of 2023-24. I'm going to put Jeff on the spot here and say that he promised me yesterday it'd be up by spring. Now you're really on the spot. Really on the spot, Jeff, to get that done. Amir, quickly again, can you share what micro-credentials are and what role? How are we going to bring UT Tyler into the micro-credentials world?
Absolutely. Micro-credential is something that actually many institutions of higher ed have moved towards because it's a new value proposition for higher ed, and basically based on high demand skills that are needed to be placed into academic programs. We have short duration educational credentials that are embedded in a single course or a compendium of courses. And so with the support of UT System, which has a connection to Google and partnership with Coursera and Coursera Career Academy, we have been able to, this past year, have our excellent faculty in criminal justice embedded project management and data analytics in their program. And in fact, this year, with the support of our Associate Provost for Online Continuing Education, Dr. Kumar, and the Office of Digital Learning, we're working with the excellent faculty in Department of Literature and Languages to embed those skills into their courses. And the value proposition for the program, for the micro-credential, is that it provides a flexible pathway for the students to get in, and also lets the student to highlight those high-demand skills that goes beyond the broad education that they get, so that would be included in the resume, and then they would be embedded in what they would do in their career.
Yeah.
Dr. Calhoun, I was just going to add, it's so important as we think about these types of things that we think about certificate programs, how they could look across our disciplines. I think about things like our MPH and the work that Dean Teresa Bird's going to do for accreditation, and how important these things become to make our programs relevant. All of our new programs, speech language pathology, and so many things that are planned across the spectrum. And our College of Pharmacy has so many different ideas about how to expand these types of certificates and specializations. And it's going to take all of us, working together. And be careful, if you talk to us too long, we'll enroll you in something.
Well, Julie, it'd be great to wrap things up with you. And this is a bit of a curveball, but I was speaking with Executive Vice Chancellor John Zerwas last night, and we were talking about they made an announcement that they're going to create an academic campus, medical campus, healthcare campus at UT Austin that was desperately needed. And what he said to me is that you guys have a fabulous setup there in Tyler, and everybody is envious of it and would like to see what we have here created within their university. Can you, and whether it's nursing, pharmacy, health professions, medicine, can you just say a little bit about the role of having, and we actually have an ownership position in our academic medical center, and how that is allowing UT Tyler to be at the forefront of healthcare education across its entire spectrum?
Oh, sure. Thanks, Dr. Calhoun. And you're right. This was not one of the questions you were going to ask me, but I think it is really important. I mean, first of all, UT Tyler, we exist to train the workforce, the healthcare workforce in health affairs for East Texas. So we partner with every healthcare system, and we will continue to do so. But what a blessing it's been to be associated with and a part owner of a 10-hospital, 90-plus clinic health system whose major focus and a reason we partnered is they said, we'll stand up with you, and we care about higher ed, and we care about training people to give them a shot at a better life, right? So we, actually you, I include myself, it was you and a group of really talented other people, people that I work with every day that constructed a plan that's different than any other plan in the country. I think Dwayne would agree with that after working in Dell and Austin and other places, that really gives us a seat at the table for how the health system is run, how things are structured, and the governance. And our president leads that board. And so yes, while people can look at this and say, well, what a unique model, you're partnering with other people to help operate and help run business and help to think about how you deliver care. We still have are the major player at the table for how we train the future generations of our students and our faculty. And so it's been a great partnership. Like with all partnerships, it's best not to air your dirty laundry. And I think one of the things that I've learned is what happens at UT Tyler needs to stay at UT Tyler. We can sit in these rooms and discuss how we construct things all day long, but for the outside community, we're one team, we're one family, we have one mission, we have one purpose, and let's focus this year and every day on getting the job done. And I think that people lose sight of that, and I think externally right now when people look at us, especially I hope in healthcare, they say we have it together. I think we should keep it that way.
Very well said. And with that, again, thank all of you for attending and for being part of our FY24 Convocation. Please enjoy your day. Go out and discover new knowledge through your research and share knowledge through your teaching. Thank you so much.